Hello and thanks for joining us on TVC News this hour. The National Assembly has recommended a forensic audit to scrutinize the expenditure of the Ministry of Steel Development in 2024. This was after the Joint Committee on Steel Development faulted the expenditures of the ministry. Joke Adisa has the details.
The Chairman House Committee on Steel Development, Zainab Gimba, sets the ball rolling with her welcome remarks. She alleges a number of infractions that must be investigated in the ministry.
Have you provided this esteemed committee with the details of the international travels you have done, which indicates that you have 100 million, and same has been released and same has been utilized?
The minister speaks to the 8 billion naira allocated to his ministry in 2025, while he asks that the Joint Committee raise the figure to enhance efficiency. He also wants a state of emergency declared on scrap collection centers across the country to put an end to theft of manholes and other critical national infrastructure.
We have seen, like you alluded to, some of the emergencies and crises that have happened with taking of scrap on government-owned highways that have caused accidents. We have made a provision for that in the 2025 budget proposal.
The legislators asked probing questions on the ministry's activities as they request for more documents before the budget proposal can be considered.
To revamp the complex, and they now have to do the auditing to give you price. No, it will be donkey. That's what it means. And any donkey project can never, get me right, any donkey project can never favor the client.
If we must get a technical audit that is bankable and true, then no other company can conduct a technical audit than the original builders themselves. And
we'll expect you to come with a detailed proposal of why do you think the 8 billion is not sufficient, because that detail will convince members to know whether you require further funds to revitalize the sector or that is enough.
The committee recommends the engagement of independent auditors to scrutinize the ministry's expenditure and contracts for 2024 through a forensic audit. It also promises to strengthen oversight in 2025. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's turn our attention to the fatal tanker explosion in Niger State. We'd like to warn that you may find some of the images disturbing, and viewers' discretion is advised. The death toll has now risen to 86. Their bodies have been recovered and 80 of them buried in a mass grave at Diko Primary Healthcare premises. The mass burial was carried out by NSEMA in collaboration with Gurara local government area volunteers between the hours of 5 p.m. on Saturday to 12 midnight. 5 other bodies were taken away for burial in the town by relatives and one still at the Diko PHC. 55 injured persons are still receiving treatment in hospitals. According to an eyewitness, the petrol tanker loaded with premium motor spirit at Diko Junction in Gurara local government area spilled some of its content, prompting residents to scoop fuel from the spillage.
This thing happened early in the morning today. It happened. People here were packing the foil here. They were packing the foil. They have finished packing the foil, but they brought a generator that they would transport all these things that happened here to other places. So, in terms of transporting it, then it happens to start the generator. When they start the generator, that is when the explosion just started. Seriously, people that die here are more than people that escaped the fire.
Meanwhile, Governor of Niger State, Bago, has banned heavy-duty trucks from plying the Diko Bridge. Following the fatal tanker explosion, Governor Bago visited the scene where he described the incident as worrisome. He also instructed the sector commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps to establish a detachment in the area to ensure compliance.
We need the cooperation of the Union Transport, the Road Safety, and also the Nupeng people. All trucks cannot take one way on this flyover. They must go down and take a U-turn after Diko. You must enforce it. from this moment. Enforce it. So I want in sector commander, you must put a unit here, a detachment here, permanent. At any point in time, we find anybody taking one way here, deal with the person. Confiscate the car, the truck. He cannot be killing people. The lives of Nigerians, innocent Nigerians that have been lost today, only God knows. This is pathetic. We are even lucky he didn't extend to these villages here because of the recklessness of drivers. This is our position as a government, and we are going to enforce it.
And still staying on the story, President Bola Tinubu has expressed deep sorrow over the fuel tanker explosion, which caused the deaths of over 80 people, with many also injured. President Tinubu mourned the victims and expressed his condolences to the families affected, as well as to the government and people of Niger State. He underscored the tragic and preventable nature of the incident, as many victims were those scooping premium motor spirits, PMS, from the overturned tanker. The president has directed the provision of comprehensive medical care to the injured and instructed security and road safety authorities to implement measures to avert similar incidents. President Tinubu strongly advises all citizens to exercise caution and avoid approaching accident sites, especially those involving fuel-laden vehicles, due to their highly explosive nature. Additionally, the president has mandated the National Orientation Agency to initiate a nationwide educational campaign. This campaign will raise public awareness about the severe risks and environmental dangers of scooping fuel from falling tankers. In another development, victims of the Christmas rice distribution stampede in Okija, Hiala local government area of Anambra State, have been buried. 21 persons, mostly women and children, reportedly died during the tragic incident during the distribution of palliatives, which was donated by a notable member of the community, Ernest Obiejisi, through his Obi Jackson Foundation. The interdenominational burial service for the victims was held at St. Mary's Field, Okija. Families of the victims, survivors, community members, and other notable personalities of the community were in attendance at the low-key event. It was put together by the Okija community.
You see, today, we gather here with heavy hearts to honor the memory of those we lost in the recent tragedy. The Obi Jackson Foundation remains steadfast in supporting the families affected and the entire Okija people that have found themselves engrossed in this incident. That going forward, that we're going to continue to ensure that we do everything within our powers, within our limits, within everything that God has empowered us to do, to make sure that Okija never suffers this kind of loss again.
The stampede that happened on 21st of December. So, and that my junior brother died last year. A year interval, the wife died. So it's too painful.
We are really, feel bad. We really feel bad with the children. She left because she has kids.